Hey, Tooth Engineers, I'm Ariana, and today I'm here with Stone. Stone, would you mind briefly introducing yourself and your experiences with it in like dentistry and bioengineering?
Yeah, of course. Hey guys, my name is Stone Meng, like a rock, and I was born in Guangzhou, China. I've lived in Texas, Missouri, and Taiwan as well. I recently just graduated from Johns Hopkins studying biomedical engineering, and now I'm a incoming dental student at University of California, San Francisco, and currently living in SF. And how I got in touch with the tooth engineers is actually my good friend Nemdi. She went to the career fair at Hopkins and she met these two very cool guys about dentistry. And she was like, you know what? I know just the right person you guys need to talk to. And she told me about the opportunity. And I reached out to, I think, Sam on LinkedIn. And that's how I got joined the tooth engineers. So, and
Sounds
then what was
perfect.
your other question? Like dentistry?
What'd you say? Sorry.
What was your second part of the question?
Oh, yeah. So you're a pre-dental student, right? And you're moving into dental school?
Correct.
Yes. How has that kind of transition been for you?
Yeah, so right now I'm in SF doing this pre-school research fellowship
Mhm.
over summer
Nice.
that's offered by UCSF, and where I'm working with my PI here to complete a research project that I'm working on AI in dentistry to see if these leading AI models are gonna give holistic answers to specific OMFS questions. But in terms of the transition, I haven't really started dental school yet. UCSF starts relatively late, in late September.
Wow.
But overall, I'm very excited. I've heard a lot from the current students here, and they've said that dental school first year might be a little challenging, but overall, they enjoy very much. I think it's a very well-balanced work-life balance here. And given the rigor of Hopkins education, I think I should be fine here. We'll see.
Yes. Um, when for undergrad, what kind of made you choose BME in bioengineering as a major?
Great question. I want to keep my options open. So when I was in high school, the main thing I did, my X factor, was robotics. I really love robotics ever since fifth grade. I did first Lego League, I did Vex robotics, and I did first Tech Challenge and all of that. And so I was always planning to do like aerospace engineering and such. But then in junior year, when I was considering career path, part of it is I watched Grey's Anatomy. I was like, wait a second, medicine's pretty cool. Another part of it is I talked with my parents and my other mentors, and they're like, yeah, medicine's a great field, but they're not going to make that decision for me. So I went and shadowed a bunch of professions, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, medicine is a cool field. And so I decided that I want to pursue both. And so to me, biomedical engineering marries the two fields, right? Medicine and engineering. And
Mhm.
that's why I chose it.
This actually brings up another question. What made you choose dental school rather than applying to something like med school or somewhere else in healthcare?
Great question. So rather why dentistry and not
Hmm.
anything else, right? If whoever watching this is a dental student, they gotta prepare for this because that's a question guaranteed to be asked in interview.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna give you my interview answer. So I mean, to me, like it's a matter of a career, right? Why do I choose this career over another career? And it was actually never between dentistry or like MD, like a doctor in
Hmm.
the hospital. It was more of like dentistry versus entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
And dentistry to me is 50% the clinical side and 50% business. And both I am very, very interested in. You know, I want to innovate in the field no matter what I get into. And dentistry has always been at the frontier of innovations in the Medicare field, and I think it will continue to be that way. And so, as a dentist, where I'm my own practice owner, I can allocate time to both treat patients, but also pursue other endeavors I'm interested in, whether that be clinical innovation or business ventures or something else, right? Or spend time with my family, all of those. I think it's great that I can both get the fulfillment of helping patients and seeing them very often, but also be my own boss and control my own time. So that's one of the big reasons.
I see. When applying to dental schools, what do you think is one thing that helped you stand out as an applicant?
I think I'm very, I suppose, not traditional because if I choose like a typical dental student, which is a lot of people who get into great schools, a lot
Hmm.
of them study biology or public health, right? And do shadowing, volunteering and stuff, which I think is great. And I think you should do that path if you're into dentistry. But I did like biomedical engineering, and a lot of my past things I did were not tailored towards any school. I just did it because I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And my big three extracurriculars in college was student government, running my own startup,
Oh,
and the design team that my major offered. And I can talk more about each of those if you like.
yeah. Would you like to talk more about the entrepreneurship, the startup you kind of ran?
Sure. So my startup is called Higher Grounds Vending LLC. I'm one of the four co-founders. What we do basically is we have these instant brew on the spot bubble tea and milk vending machines on campus at Hopkins. There's three of them so far. And if you're a user, you can imagine you go up there, it's a touch screen. You choose what drink you want, like Thai tea or taro milk tea or black coffee, whatever. And then it brews it on the spot. You can choose the sugar levels and such. Basically, a machine barista, right? And how we arrived at this problem was in freshman year, I took a class with Dr. Russell and we had to find a problem on campus and solve it or propose a solution. The one our team came up with was that on-campus cafes were way too expensive, and we have to find a way to give cheaper caffeine to students, which is a very urgent need.
Hmm.
And so I realized that there are a lot of these vending machines in Asia, like Japan or China, that have very cheap coffee that are better than, the ones you get at gas stations and are very much popular there. But that don't really exist here in the US, except for the canned coffees. And so we decided that's going to be our pitch. At the end of that class, the rest of the team, just did that as a class project. But I thought, you know what, this has potential to turn into a business.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to get some entrepreneurship experience while in college. And I figured, why not? Let's just go with this. And so I asked my team members, only one of them stayed and decided to be a co-founder. And I called my two good friends, Alice and Talia. And the four of us bootstrapped some funds together and funded this machine.
Wow.
And we joined the Hopkins's startup incubator first for the whole summer, where we wrote business plans and reach out to suppliers and such. And we bought our first machine within that summer. And from there, we learned as we operated, and we grew to three machines right now. As for the future of Higher Grounds, we're continuing hiring students at Hopkins itself to maintain that operations, but we're also considering expanding into different parts of the US to different campuses.
That's nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask next how you're like planning on keeping this going, but yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Um, what do you think was a challenge you faced throughout your journey? Like any challenge.
What is a challenge I faced throughout my journey? Could it be like, are you asking more career-wise or personal-wise?
Either is fine.
Let's see. There's plenty of challenges. I'm trying to think of one
Hmm.
interesting for the listeners, I suppose. I think one challenge that I've always faced, still face, is juggling between different things, right? Because as I mentioned before, I had three main extracurriculars back in college. Um, Now, I don't have those things, but I have different things on my plate that we have to juggle. And I'm sure this applies to everyone. Um, and it's, I suppose, difficult for me to make sure that my mind stays on this task only and not on something else. I have a tendency where I'm working on something, and when I take a short break, I think about, oh, wait a second, I might miss the deadline for the other thing. And so I go switch my task on that one. But so far, so good. I found out that actually, my time is very squeezable. Like if I want to add a new activity, I can. Like no matter how busy I feel, if I really want something, I can definitely make time and squeeze it in for it. And so personally, I don't really believe when somebody says like I don't have time for something. I think they
Mhm.
just don't prioritize that, which I think is completely fair. But
Yeah.
that's been a challenge of how to balance all my tasks and also how to choose which ones to focus on and which ones not to.
Um, do you, this is kind of a little further down the road for you, but do you plan to specialize or have any specialties you're particularly interested in?
Great question. So I think I'm 99% set on specializing. Which specialty, I'm not sure yet.
Mhm.
I'd say my leading ones, and this is also recommended by Sam and Rob, is that uh, OMFS or prosthodontics or maybe orthodontics or that's actually not orthodontic, but pediatric dentistry. One of those three, most likely. They align the most with my aspirations.
Nice. One last question for you. What is one piece of advice you'd give to someone like me who's in high school, interested in eventually pursuing a career in dentistry?
My advice is that if you're already listening to this, then you're on the perfect track. Or if you're like asking questions, you're doing just fine. In high school, if you can, try to find one dentist to shadow, right? A general dentist, so you can get a good idea. It's always good when you're applying to schools to say like, oh, look at that. I actually started shadowing someone in high school. That's going to make you stand out from the
Mhm.
rest of the applicants. Um, but also, instead of trying to prepare for dentistry right now, it's always a good idea to really make sure that is the field you enjoy.
Mhm.
And so not only shadow dentists, but doctors in the hospitals and such, right? And I would say try to shadow some specialists as well if you have the chance, because their life is almost completely different than that of
I
general
see.
dentists. Both are appealing to different people, but they're very different. And I did not realize that until I shadowed a specialist in junior year of college.
Mm.
So I think that's a very valuable experience.
Yes. Well, thank you, Stone, for hopping on today, sharing your experiences with us. Yes.
Of course, any other questions, I can answer them anytime. Just let me know.
Yes. Well, thank you, Tooth Engineers, for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and yeah.
All right, sounds good.